Hello, kindergartners. Today I'm coming to you with our math activity this week. You will find in your packet a booklet like this that has shapes that are on the top and then two empty spaces down below. And you will also find some different colors of paper clipped to it. These are for you to use for this activity. You also need some glue or maybe some tape, and you'll need scissors. So today what we're doing is we're practicing making shapes. Some of us are having a hard time doing that, and so it's a good opportunity for us to practice. Circles are easy to draw, but they're tricky to cut out for so many, and so I thought we could practice. Same thing with the other shapes that we talk about at school. Hexagons can be tricky, so I thought we could walk through it today. So when you're tracing, I'm using a crayon today just because I don't have a pencil that's dark enough for you to see, or a marker, so I'm using a crayon. You can use one too, but I'm going to try to stay on those dotted lines. And a circle is a closed shape. It's a bent line, and it comes all the way closed. I don't leave it open. Okay, so practice making those circles. Now we're going to make it on our own. Remember, it's a curved line and it's closed. We have to make those lines meet up and they're closed. If you tipped it over and it was full of something, nothing would fall out. This, not quite a circle. I'm going to take my time and close it. This is a really good opportunity for you to think about what you're doing. Now, I'm going to get my red piece of paper for my circles. Kindergartners, it can be hard to cut circles out. We call this freehand. That means I didn't draw on my paper, but I'm going to do my best. It's a curved line, and I'm just going to, my scissors are staying still. This hand is guiding the paper, and so I'm just going to continue bringing it around. Okay, I did my best. It's a little pointy on a couple sides. It's not absolutely perfect, but is it good enough? Yeah, it's my best. My best is good enough. Okay, so put a dot of glue. I'm going to stick it. It really does look almost like a lemon or a lime. If this is tricky for you, kindergartners, I know you're good at drawing circles. You could draw the circle, and then you can go back and you can cut it out. If that works better for you, that is okay. But definitely, you could practice this skill a couple of times and then try it on your own. See if you can just cut one out. Okay, so that's the one I traced. Looks pretty good, huh? Okay, also, if you wanted, you could put your red paper away. And I know that at my house, I don't know about you guys, but at my house, I have magazines. I have some old magazines that I could use. I found some shapes in my magazine. Here's what kind of shape is that? 1, 2, 3. That's a triangle. Now, I found, oh, these are 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not quite a square, but it's a rectangle. Absolutely. Okay, so you could look through your, oh look, this is, what shape is that? What? I have circles. With permission, kindergarteners, ask your mom or your dad, hey, is there a magazine I could cut? Is there any way that I could borrow a magazine? And sometimes it's easier for me to just rip the paper out. This is with permission. You are not going to cut into your family's magazines or newspaper unless you have asked permission. So I found a shape that is a circle, and now I'm going to glue it down right here. That's kind of fun to go through a magazine or a newspaper and look for the shape. Inside this circle, I see 1, 2, 3 more circles. That's kind of fun. All right, so we'll move on to the next shape. Kindergartners, this is a square. A square has 4 sides that are equal. Do you remember what that word equal means? Equal means same. It means the same. These are the same length. Okay, I don't have two sides that are shorter and two that are longer. That's a different shape. This is a square. So when I make a square, I'm going to do my best to make my sides an equal length. I did my best. Okay, now I like squares because check this out. I'm going to use my orange piece of paper and my scissors. I'm going to use this corner. I have two straight sides already, and I'm going to just cut into the corner. Whoop. I'm going to cut into the corner and see, how did I do? Pretty good? Yeah. So I'll glue this down right here. Square. The word square is written on this paper. It's written right up here using a Q. Square. Square. All right. Once again, I could go back to my magazine and I could look for this shape, for the square shape. I want you to use this language. Maybe when you're tracing your square, you could say square. Square. Okay. Oh, now this next one, get ready for it. I think you're ready for this, kindergartners. You're almost first graders, so we're going to work on this one. This is a hexagon. Hexagon. Let's count those sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides. Hexagon has 6 sides. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's my trick. Are you ready? I'm going to, now I'm noticing this one's flat on the top, but this one's, wait a minute, this one's pointy. Is it still a hexagon? Well, let's count. How many sides does a hexagon have? Yes, 6. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Is this also a hexagon? It is a hexagon. Even though it's turned, the shape has not changed. This is a hexagon. This is a hexagon. When I make my hexagon, I like to use this where it's flat on the top and the bottom. Check this out. It's flat on the top, and then it's flat on the bottom. And then just like when I make my letter K, I kick it in and out. Watch this. Oh, really? Do you think I can do the opposite? Out, in. Is that a hexagon? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That has 6 sides. It's a hexagon. I'm going to do that again in case you missed it. I start with the top and the bottom. Okay. Then I go back up here and I kick it out and in, just like I am making my letter K. You know, imagine that there's a line here. And that's my letter K. Here we go. Out, in. And then I do the opposite over here. Out, in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hexagon. Okay. Now, when I make my hexagon out of paper, I'm going to get my yellow paper, and I'm going to do just like I did before. I'm going to make my square. I'm going to cut my corner out, and then this can be tricky. I'm going to take my corners off, and I'm going to take this corner off. Let's see how I do. Okay. Take my corners off. Uh-oh, Mrs. Hubbard's getting lost. Take my corners off. Oh, how many is, wait a minute. How many sides is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, hexagon's tricky. I'm gonna, whoop. Do you think this has 6 sides now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't look exactly like these. They're all a little bit different, but does it have 6 sides? You bet. I'm really excited because guess what? I found a hexagon in my magazine and I could not believe it. Look at this. Do you see this little hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm cutting that out. I never see hexagons in a magazine. We don't use them all the time. So I'm just gonna rough cut. Sorry, I'm off camera here, outside of the frame. And then I'm going to go back and cut my little tiny hexagon. It's tiny, teensy weensy. I have to use little snips. Little snips. Okay. Making a hexagon might be a little bit tricky out of paper, but you can sure draw one. And this is so small, I don't know if I'll be able to get glue on it without making a mess of my hands. So I'm gonna make a dot, and then I'm going to stick it right down on my dot. There we go. And then it'll dry there. All right, I'm gonna move my scraps off to the side. Kindergartners, we're gonna keep going. Let's take a look at our shapes. This is a triangle. Triangle, the word is right up here. Triangle. Triangle. Okay, we are going to trace that triangle. It's just like the letter A, kindergartners. Like my letter A, but I don't cross it in the middle. I cross it at the bottom. Triangle. This one is just like the letter V. I don't cross it anywhere but at the very top. Now this is also, these are all closed shapes. They meet at the corners. Kindergartners, is this a triangle? Yes, it is. There's 1, 2, 3 sides. But this one has a point that's going up. This point is going down. Does that matter? No, they're both triangles. I'm going to go down here and draw some triangles too. Check this out. 1, 2, 3. Is that a triangle? Yes, this is a triangle. It has 3 sides. 2, 3. Is that a triangle? Yes. 1, 2, 3. It has 3 sides. It doesn't matter where the points are facing. It doesn't matter if it's short or tall or if it's just wide. They're all triangles. When I make my triangles, I'm going to go back to my paper. I'm going to use green for triangles. I like this because guess what I can do? Here's a corner. 1, 2. Is that a triangle? Yes. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to glue it down. I can make it face any way I want. This one, the point is going that way. Is it still a triangle? Yes. I haven't changed the shape. It still has 1, 2, 3 sides. Okay. I can also make this triangle. I can just cut the corners right off. And now I've made a different kind of triangle. Kindergarteners, you can also make triangles. All right, the last shape that we're going to talk about today, this one can be tricky for kindergarteners. A lot of us keep forgetting the name of this shape. This shape is the rectangle. Say it with me, rectangle. Yep, rectangle. A rectangle is similar to a square. It just looks like someone pulled it apart and stretched it out. Now we know a rectangle has 2 short sides and 2 long sides. Okay, it's also a closed shape. These shapes are all closed up. Long sides, short sides. And it doesn't matter which direction they're going. I have short sides and I have long sides. That's my clue that this is a rectangle. Say it when you draw it, rectangle. Now, a rectangle, we call these parallel. That's not a word that we've used a lot, but they just kind of are straight up and down, straight side to side. They're not bending in and out. Okay, so yeah, this one, not a rectangle. Not a rectangle. We really want these to go straight up and down, straight side to side. Okay, so I could draw a rectangle. I'm going to have 2 long sides and 2 short sides. And I did my best. Okay. Oh, and I think I'm going to make this one go, watch this, I'm going to turn my paper a little bit. 2 long sides, 2 short sides. Does it matter that it's turned? Nope, I haven't changed my shape. I have 2 sides that are going straight across. Straight across. They're not going in or out. This is a rectangle. When I cut out my rectangle, I'm going to use my blue paper. And I'm going to make, ooh, that's a good size rectangle. Short sides, long sides. I'm going to give it a road of glue. All right. I'm going to put it on my paper. Kindergartners, I hope you have a good time working on your shapes and looking for shapes, even in a magazine if you wanted to. Definitely ask your parents if they have a magazine that you can cut into, or newspaper, something, maybe even junk mail that's at home that comes to the house. This is the mailing label spot. What shape is this? What? 2 short sides, 2 long sides, rectangle. So definitely take time to put this together, and as you find shapes, you're welcome to cut those out and fit them onto your spot. I hope you have a good time working in your shape book this week. Thanks for listening.